Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Humne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. First of all, I welcome you all in this lecture series in Angiosperm Taxonomy, organized by Botany for You, an online platform for the students of life sciences. Today, in this lecture series, we will learn about floral diagram. The floral diagram is one of the important topics in the botany or plant sciences in Angiosperm taxonomy paper. This topic is included in the syllabi of UG as well as the PG, and always there is a question on this topic. Though it is very easy, but then also the students are repeatedly making the mistakes while drawing the correct floral diagram of the flower or the family. Today, we will see how to draw the correct floral diagram of any flower or any family in this lecture on floral diagram. Dear students, we will cover the floral diagram of the family Annoaceae, Ranunculaceae, Brassicaceae, Malvaceae, Papilionaceae, Caesalpiniaceae, Mimosaceae, Myrtaceae, Apiaceae, Rubiaceae, Asteraceae, Asclepiadaceae, Apocynaceae, Solanaceae, Lamiaceae, Verbinaceae, Amaranthaceae, Euphorbiaceae, Amaryllidaceae, Liliaceae, Araceae, and Poaceae. And these different families are taken from the different syllabi of the UG and PG of different Indian universities. And I am sure after watching of this complete lecture, you will get the tricks and the knowledge about how to draw the floral diagram. If we see the floral diagram, then first of all, the question arises, what is floral diagram? A diagram illustrating the relative position and number of parts in each of the set of organs comprising a flower is called floral diagram. This is a technical definition of the floral diagram. But in a simple way, we can say that a floral diagram is an ideal ground plan of a flower. Means whatever the position of the different floral parts in the flower, that we have to represent in the form of the diagram in floral diagram. If you have not yet watched the lecture on flower, then before watching this lecture, you will have to go that lecture on the flower so that you can easily understand this lecture. When you are going to draw the floral diagram, first of all, it is important to observe the flower in bud condition and not the complete open flower. So, first of all, we have to see the bud of the flower, which is slightly open but not fully open, so that we can observe the aestivation of the sepal and the petal. And already I told in earlier lecture on flower that the mode of arrangement of the sepal or the petal in flower in bud condition. So, first of all, we have to see the aestivation, and for that aestivation there is need of the flower bud which is slightly open but not the open flower. The floral diagram is drawn in the form of the circle. So we have to make one circle first, and then from outer to inner side we have to draw the different floral parts or the floral holes that we have already studied in the form of calyx, corolla, androecium and the gynoecium. First, when we have to observe the plant on the or the flower, at that time there is necessity to find out the posterior and anterior side of the flower, because when there are the presence of the particular petal or the odd petal, at that time it will be helpful to draw it either on posterior side or the anterior side. First of all, we have to use or draw the mother axis on which the flower is developed, and it can be drawn in the form of circle with the one horizontal line and one vertical line, that is the plus type of the sign for actinomorphic flower. And if the flower is zygomorphic, we have to draw the circle with one vertical line. So in this case the flower will be zygomorphic. Then below it or to the anterior side we have to draw the bract if the flower is bracteate. If the flower is ebracteate, means if the bract is absent in the flower, then there is no necessity to draw the bract in the floral diagram. So we have to remember, we have to see or to observe the presence of the bract in the flower. In many cases the bracts are caducous, and hence in such a flowers there is need to see the presence of bract in the flower at the terminal end, in which the flowers are present in a bud condition or very young flowers. Then there may be presence of the bracteoles, and we have to draw the bracteoles on either sides or the lateral sides. Even the bracteoles may be present or may not be present. If bracteoles are present, we have to draw the two bracteoles on lateral side of the flowers, and if there are absence of the bracteoles, then there is no necessity to draw the bracteoles. In some cases, like the family Malvaceae, there is a complete whorl of the bracteoles which are responsible for the formation of the epicalyx. In such cases, we have to draw the total number of bracteoles which are present in that flower. Then inner side of the bracteole, there is a presence of calyx, and to draw the calyx we have to see the number of sepals, then estivation, and they are free or fused. These different characters are required to draw in the floral diagram. Here these sepals are drawn, and the one sepal is drawn to the posterior side, and here these different sepals are attached with each other, hence it is shown in the diagram, they are fused. But if the sepals are free, then there is no necessity to draw such type of the loop, so that the sepals will be shown free in the flower. Again, there are the different type of the estivations, that is velvet, twisted, imbricate, quincunxial and vexillary. And as per the presence of the type of estivation in the sepal or the petal, we have to draw that type of the estivation in the floral diagram. We will see this different type of the estivation in the subsequent floral diagrams of the families. In addition to that, to the inner side of the calyx, we have to draw the whorl of the corolla. Again, here also in the similar manner, there is necessity to see the number of petals, then estivation of the petal and free or the fused condition, that is polypetalous condition or the gamopetalous condition. Here again the petals are drawn in this diagram, and that is a gamopetalous type of the condition and the velvet estivation. Then inside the corolla there is another whorl, and that is androecium, which is represented by means of the presence of the stamens. We have to see the number of stamens, then they are free or fused. If they are attached to the petal, then we have to draw it attached to the petals, that is epipetalous condition. If there is a presence of the perianth, then epiphylous condition. So such a type of the attachment is important to show in the floral diagram. In addition to that, in some flowers there are the presence of the stamens with the unequal length of the filament. Again, that we have to draw that length of the filament according to the distance from the periphery. In addition to that, the anthers are either monothecous or the dithecous, and the same condition we have to draw in the floral diagram. Again, the anthers are intrors and the extrors. If they are intrors, then we have to draw their opening towards the inner side, and if they are extrors, then we have to draw them towards the petals. So in this way, we have to draw the different characters of the stamen, and that will show the characteristics of the flower. Then in the center, we will have to draw the TS of ovary, showing the placentation, that is number of locules as well as number of ovules per locule. So in this way, there will be the gynoecium in the form of TS of ovary in the floral diagram. And if we draw all these things together, automatically there will the formation of one diagram, and this diagram is known as the floral diagram. So we have to remember all these different characteristics of the different parts of the flower, that is bract, bracteole, then calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, and every character we have to represent in it. In addition to that, there are some other characters in the floral diagram that we have to mention. Say for example, if there is a presence of one odd petal, then we have to remember that odd petal is present either at a posterior side or the anterior side. If it is posterior side, then we have to draw it below the mother axis, and if it is present at the anterior side, then we have to draw to the inner side of the bract. In the similar manner, in certain cases, there is a presence of the spur to the sepal or the petal, and in such cases, on the basis of the presence of the spur to the lower side, we have to draw in the form of the loop as a spur. In case of the stamen, there may be presence of some steminodes, and if there are the presence of the steminode, then we have to represent it either in the form of star or in the form of the cross, so that that position of the stamen indicates that there is a steminode present. In some cases, there are the presence of two whorls of the stamens, and in such cases, there is either diplostaminous condition or obdiplostaminous type of the condition. If there is obdiplostaminous type of the condition, we have to draw the stamens of the outer whorl which are opposite to the petals, and if the stamens are diplostaminous, then we have to draw the outer whorl of the stamen alternate to the petals. So in this way, we can draw the floral diagram with every detail of the bract, bracteole, then calyx, corolla, androecium and the gynoecium. So we will have the complete details of the flower in the floral diagram, and hence it is said that it is a brief ideal ground plan of the flower. So in the subsequent slide, we will have to see the different floral diagrams of the different families which are included in the syllabi of the UG and PG. Here there are the three different floral diagrams, that is one from the Anonaceae, second is from the Ranunculaceae, and third one is again from the Ranunculaceae. Here the first diagram is of the Artabotrys odoratissimus, in which there is a presence of bract, then presence of the perianth, and this perianth is present in one whorl, second whorl and third one. Then presence of stamens, then here there is a presence of gynoecium or the placentation. Then flowers are actinomorphic. So in this way, we can draw the floral diagram of the Artabotrys, in which the flower is bracteate, the perianth is present in three different whorls of three each. Then there are the numerous stamens which are free and they are arranged in a whorl. Then presence of many carpels in the center with the X placentation. In the second diagram, here in the Ranunculus scleratis, the flowers are bracteate, hence it is the bract is given. Again, there are the presence of bracteoles, that the flowers are bracteolate, hence two bracteoles are drawn. Usually there is a presence of the single bract and two bracteoles, or rarely there are the many bracteoles. Then again the flower is actinomorphic, and see here the sepals or arrangement of the calyx. This one is outer, this one is outer, this petal is inner and this petal is inner, and this petal is alternate, so that the one side is inner and another side is outer. Means in this type of the excavation, we find the two sepals outer, then two sepals inner and one sepal alternate. Such type of the excavation is quincunxial type of the excavation, and the sepals are free, hence here there is no any joint in between these sepals. So that is a polysepalous type of the condition. In the similar manner, in the petals also, here you will find that here this petals, out of that this is completely inner and this is completely outer, and rest of the three they are alternate, that is the one side is outer and another side is inner, and hence here the one petal is completely outer and the one petal is completely inner. Such type of the excavation is known as imbricate type of the excavation. So here the type of the petals which are arranged, that is in a imbricate manner. Again the petals are free. There are many stamens, and here these stamens are drawn, and that is extrorse condition, that they are facing towards the petals, and in the gynoecium there is a presence of placentation. In the third one, that is a Delphinium ajacis, here first one, that is the axis must be zygomorphic. So the flower is zygomorphic because here there is a formation of spur to the sepal as well as the petals. Then presence of the bract, presence of the bracteole. Again sepal and the sepals are free, in which this is one completely, or this one is again outer, means two sepals are outer and two sepals are inner. Again it is a quincunxial type of the excavation, and there are three petals only which are attached, that is there is a gamopetalous type of the condition, in which here the spur is attached to the rest of the petals. Then again the stamens are present in a whorls and presence of type of the placentation. In family Brassicaceae, here the flowers are tetramerous, that is the individual members in the floral whorls are four, that is four sepal and four petals. The flowers are ebracteate, hence the bract is not drawn here, and outer one whorl, that is made up of calyx. Then there is a presence of mother axis which shows the actinomorphic condition. This calyx are present in the two whorl and hence they are drawn, that is the this one and this one, they are the outer one, that is two sepals are present in a outer whorl and this remaining two are present in a inner whorl, and hence here the sepals are present in a two whorl with the velvet type of the excavation. Again there are the four petals, that is corolla, and in this all the petals are present away from each other without any overlapping, and such type of the excavation is known as velvet type of the excavation. Then there are the six stamens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Out of that the 2 are drawn towards the petal and 4 are drawn towards the gynoecium. So it is considered that here the length of the filament is longer for the 4 stamens, that is 4 stamens are long and 2 stamens are short. Such type of the condition is known as tetradynamous condition. So this is again very well shown in the floral diagram. Again, the stamens or the anthers are dithecous and they are extrorse. And the gynoecium, that is bicarpellary syncarpus, and the ovals are developing from the opposite side. So, such a type of the placentation is known as parietal placentation. So, such type of the floral diagram or the flowers are present in the Brassicaceae family in the Brassica campestris. In Malvaceae, a very common plant, that is a Hibiscus rosa sinensis, and in this the flowers are actinomorphic, and the specific characteristics of this organism is that here there are the presence of epicalyx, and that is an extra hole in the flower outside the calyx. So, these are the calyx, and outside the calyx there is a presence of epicalyx. These epicalyx are made up of bracteoles. Here the flowers possess the bract, and hence it is bracteate and bracteolate both. There are many bracteoles, and hence complete whole of the bracteoles is drawn in the floral diagram. Then inside it there is a presence of the whorl of the calyx, which contain the 5 sepals, and all these 5 sepals with the velvet estivation, and they are fused with each other, that is gamosepalous condition with the velvet estivation. Then presence of corolla, and the corolla shows the presence of 5 petals, and all the 5 petals are alternate with each other, and such a type of the estivation is known as twisted estivation. So, here these petals are free from each other, that is polypetalous type of the condition with the twisted estivation. Then here there is a whole of the complete male reproductive organ, that is androecium, and presence of the staminal column, and from this staminal column there are the presence of stamens in the circle. If we see each stamen inside it, then you will find such type of the reniform shaped anthers are drawn here, and these are monothecous type of the anthers. So, the same condition is drawn in the floral diagram. Again, all the filaments of these stamens fuse together and forming this bundle, that is known as the staminal column. Means here the monadelphous type of the condition is also seen in this floral diagram. In addition to that, here in the center there is a presence of ovary, and in this ovary here there is a presence of pentalocular condition, and all the ovals are developing from the center, and such a type of the gynoecium or the ovary with exile placentation. So, here the unique characteristics of this floral diagram is the presence of the epicalyx, monothecous type of the anthers, monadelphous condition, and this anther tube or the staminal tube is attached to the petals, and hence these stamens are known as epipetalous stamens. The next one from the same family, that is Abutilon, which is again one of the common plants, in which there is a presence of bract in the flower. Then flowers are actinomorphic, presence of calyx which are in a velvet estivation and fused condition, that is the gamocephalous condition. Then the arrangement of the corolla, that is petals, in a twisted manner. All the petals are fused, that is gamopetalous type of the condition. And again here also there is a presence of staminal column. So monadelphous condition is present. All the stamens fused together forming the one bundle. And this staminal column is again attached to the petals, that is epipetalous condition. So such a type of the anthers which are monothecous and epipetalous and monadelphous are found in the abutilon. And there are the presence of the many carpels, and hence the many chambered ovary is present with axile placentation in abutilon also. In the family Papilionaceae, Caesalpinaceae and Mimosacea, earlier these families were considered as a subfamily as Papilionoideae, Caesalpinoideae and Mimosaideae, but now these families are independently treated as a Papilionaceae family, Caesalpinaceae family and the Mimosacea family, which belongs to the family that is Leguminosae, means all these family bear the fruit and that is a legume. Here there is a presence of zygomorphic flowers in the Papilionaceae, again zygomorphic flowers in the family Caesalpinaceae, but actinomorphic flowers in the family Mimosacea. Then there is a presence of bract in all, that the flowers are bracteate. In Papilionaceae there are even the flowers bracteolate, that is here there are the presence of two bracteoles in the Tephrosia purpurea, but here there is a absence of the bracteole in the family Caesalpinaceae and the Mimosacea, that is in Cassia fistula and Acacia nilotica respectively. Then inner hole or the inner to the bracteole there is a presence of calyx, which is made up of 5 sepals which are gamocephalous with velvet estivation. In the similar manner, here in the Caesalpinaceae, the 5 sepals polycephalous condition with, see here, this petal is outer, again this sepal is outer, that is 2 outer, this one is inner sepal and this one is again inner sepal, 2 outer, 2 inner, and that is quincunxial type of the estivation of the sepal. But here in case of the Acacia nilotica in the family Mimosacea, here the sepals are 5, then gamocephalous condition with the velvet estivation. Then the arrangement of the petal, that here there is a presence of odd petal and which is present to the posterior side. Here in the family Papilionaceae, the type of corolla is Papilionaceous type of the corolla, and the type of estivation of the petal is vexillary. This type of the estivation is a characteristic feature of the Papilionaceae, so that we have to remember that in the family Papilionaceae, the arrangement of the petal in such a condition where the one petal will be the outer, that is known as the standard, then there will the presence of the 2 petals, they are known as the wings, and inside that again there will the presence of the 2 petals which are fused and they are known as the hill. And such type of the arrangement of the petal is known as vexillary type of the arrangement or the excavation. In the family Caesalpinaceae, the arrangement of the petals is again in a quincunxial condition. Here these two petals are fused in the family Papilionaceae, but here in the Caesalpinaceae all the petals are free, and the arrangement of the petal is in a quincunxial type of the condition. Sorry, not quincunxial. Here there is a presence of one outer and this one is the inner, and rest of the three are the alternate, and hence instead of the quincunxial, here the type of or the arrangement of the petal is imbricate. Then number of stamens which are drawn in the floral diagram of the Tephrosia, in which here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So 9 stamens are joined with each other, and one stamen, this one, is free. So 9 plus 1 condition, and that is the didelphous type of the condition. But here in the Cassia fistula, there are the presence of 10 stamens, in which 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 they are present in the inner whorl, and this rest of the 5 stamens are present in a outer whorl. Means the presence of 10 anthers or the stamens which are present in the two whorls of 5 plus 5, and here there is a fusion among the filaments of the 9 stamen, but here such type of the fusion is not present in the family Caesalpinaceae, while there are infinite stamens in the family Mimosaceae in Acacia nilotica. And the characteristics of all the plants of the all these three families, that is Papilionaceae, Caesalpinaceae and Mimosaceae, and that is the marginal type of the placentation, because in all these families the gynoecium is the same, that is one carpel, and it is responsible for the formation of the fruit, that is the legume, and hence the complete in all families the type of the estivation, the type of the placentation is marginal. In family Myrtaceae, here again the flowers are bracteate. Bracteate means the presence of the bract. Then they are actinomorphic. Then the calyx, that is the sepals, are fused, in which here the one sepal is completely outer, this is completely inner, and hence the arrangement is imbricate, and it is a gamosepalous type of the condition. Then the corolla, that is a petals, and here again this petal is outer, this petal is outer, this petal is inner, and this petal is inner, that is two outer, two inner, and that type of the estivation is known as quincunxial type of the estivation, and polypetalous type of the condition, as the petals are not free. Here this is a staminal column in which the filaments of all the stamen fuse together forming the single bundle, and that is known as a monadelphous type of the condition, and here the anthers which are drawn, they are dithecous type of the condition, dithecous and the intros, and the gynoecium is tricarpellary syncarpous with the exile placentation. So such type of the floral diagram is found in the Callistemon lanceolatus of the family Myrtaceae. In Apiaceae or the Umbelliferae family, that is the common plant, that is Coriandrum sativum, that is dhania, there are the two different type of the flowers, and these flowers are the central flowers and the peripheral flowers. There is only difference in between these two flowers, and that is the central flowers are actinomorphic and the peripheral flowers are the zygomorphic, because here the arrangement of the petal is different. Here, if you see the zygomorphic condition of the flower or the peripheral flower, you will find the petals which are found in the zygomorphic flower or the peripheral flower, they are larger as compared to the rest of the petals. But in case of the central flower, the petals are same. And because of this, here there will the formation of the two different floral diagrams of the two different flowers, that is central flower and the peripheral flower. Here the central flowers are actinomorphic and the peripheral flowers are zygomorphic, and this difference is only on the basis of the petals. Then the sepals or the calyx in both, that is central flower and the peripheral flower, are same, that is presence of the 5 sepals, fused, that is the gamosepalous condition, and the estivation is velvet. Again, there is a velvet estivation for the petals, that is the corolla, in central flowers as well as the peripheral flowers. Only here in the central flower, the size of all the 5 petals is same, while in case of the peripheral flowers, the size and shape of the petal is different, and because of that only these flowers are actinomorphic and zygomorphic respectively. Then presence of 5 stamens in the central flower also and in the peripheral flower also, they are dithecous and introrse. Then presence of 2 carpels with the axile placentation. So in this way we can draw the two different type of the floral diagrams for a particular plant or the species if there are the two different type of the flowers. So we have to remember here, if any plant bearing the two different type of the flowers on the basis of any character, on the basis of the calyx, on the basis of the corolla, on the basis of the androecium, on the basis of the gynoecium, etc. So in such cases we have to provide the different floral diagram for the different flowers if they are different. Then in a family Rubiaceae, that is here the petals are fused, which is the characteristic feature of the family Rubiaceae. Here there is a presence of mother axis which show the actinomorphic type of the condition. Then presence of the bract, that the flowers are bracteate. Again here there are the presence of the sepal, that is the calyx with the velvet type of the estivation, and the fused condition, that is a gamosepalous type of the condition. Then there are the 4 petals, that is the calyx, and the type of the arrangement is twisted, they are fused, that is gamopetalous, and presence of the 2 carpels, and hence the ovary is bicarpellary with the 2 locules, 1 ovule in each locule with the axile placentation. Again in the family Asteraceae, here we have taken the example of the Tradax procumbens, which is the common plant found everywhere, in which there are the two different type of the florets, that is the ray florets and the disc floret on a compound capitulum, or the capitulum type of the inflorescence on the compound receptacle. Here the ray florets are zygomorphic and the disc floret are actinomorphic. This is the first difference. Second one, in the ray floret, here the androecium is found to be absent, and in the disc floret there is a presence of androecium and the gynoecium both. That this is a female flower or the female floret, and this is a bisexual floret. So this is the difference in between these two. This is outer one, that is the calyx, and in this family, that is in Asteraceae, the calyx are modified into the pappus, and hence they are drawn such like, that is dotted line. So it indicates that the calyx are modified into pappus. Then presence of the corolla. Here there are the presence of the 3 petals which are fused with the velvet estivation, and here there is a presence of the 5 petals again fused with the velvet estivation. Both the flowers, that is ray floret and the disc floret, they are bracteate. As already told, the ray florets are female, means the androecium is found to be absent, and the disc floret are the bisexual, and hence there is a presence of the androecium or the stamens. These stamens are attached to the petal. Then here these are diathecus and the intrors, and this part of the anther is again united, and such type of the condition of the anther is known as syngenesious type of the condition, which is the characteristic feature of this family Asteraceae. And presence of the single ovule in the center with the basal placentation in the ray florets also and in the disc floret also. In some other families like the Asclepiadaceae, Apocynaceae and Solanaceae, that here in the Asclepiadaceae there is a presence of the bract, and in addition to that there are the presence of the bracteoles also. Then presence of 5 sepals with the quincunxial type of the arrangement or the estivation, and they are free, that is polysepalous type of the condition. Then there is a presence of corolla, and in corolla there is a presence of twisted type of the condition, and all are attached or fused with each other, and hence it is a gamopetalous condition. In the center there is a presence of gynostagium, which is the characteristic feature of the Calotropis procera of the family Asclepiadaceae. Here the pentagonal disc is drawn, and on each corner there is a presence of pollinia. So such 5 pollinias are present at 5 different corners of the gynostium or the stigmatic disc. And here this is a presence of corona, and this corona is fused with the petal, and hence here this seminal column or the corona is fused with the petal, and there is a formation of 2 fruits, and hence here there are the 2 ovaries drawn in the center with the marginal placentation in it. In the family Apocynaceae, that is Catharanthus roseus, which is again one of the common plants, the flowers are actinomorphic and ebracteate, and hence the bract is not drawn in this floral diagram. Then presence of calyx, that they are 5 with the velvet estivation and gamocephalous type of the condition. Then corolla, again they are 5 with the twisted estivation, and they are also fused, that is the gamopetalous condition. And here the stamens which are present, they are epipetalous condition. So stamens are the epipetalous in the family Apocynaceae. Then they are intrors and diathecus. presence of the two carpels with the exile placentation. In the Solanaceae also almost there are the similar type of the condition as to that of the Apocynaceae, that here presence of the axis with the actinomorphic type of the condition, absence of the bract, then here the calyx with the velvet estivation and they are fused, then corolla again they are 5 velvet estivation and they are also fused, that is a gamopetalous type of the condition. Again here the stamens are epipetalous and the gynoecium or the ovary which is present in the Solanaceae and it is oblique, and hence here this arrow shows that the location or the position of the ovary in a different manner. Such type of the position we have to consider that it is a oblique type of the condition, that is the ovary is bilocular with the many ovules in each locule and exile type of the placentation, that the ovary is multilocular and the development of the ovules from the central placentae and such type of the placentation is known as the exile placentation. In family Lamiaceae, again here the specific type of the condition that you are able to see here, there is a presence of cross sign, it indicates the presence of staminode. The flowers are zygomorphic and this one is, that is the odd sepal is present to the posterior side and this odd petal is present to the anterior side. So this is important whenever you are drawing the floral diagram of such type of the flowers, because in the family Lamiaceae in Ocimum sanctum the new name is Ocimum teniflorum, in which there are the presence of odd sepal as well as the odd petal. So in the bud condition or on the plant body we have to remember the position of the odd sepal and odd petal, because it is important to draw the floral diagram. So here there are the presence of the bilobate type of the condition, means here the one leaf is made up of the one sepal and the another leaf is made up of 4 sepals and the arrangement is velvet. In the similar manner here petal also there is a formation of one leaf of the one petal and another leaf of the 4 petal. So again here there is a presence of velvet type of the estivation. Presence of the 4 stamens and all these stamens are attached to the petals and there is a presence of one staminode. This attachment of the stamen to the petal is known as epipetalous type of the condition. The ovary in this flower is initially bilocular and later on it becomes tetralocular and one ovule in each locule with the exile placentation. So we have to draw in the center, that is the tetralocular type of the ovary with one ovule in each locule and the exile placentation. In family Verbenaceae there is a presence of the bract also, then even the bracteoles also, and presence of the zygomorphic condition of the flower. But in the Amaranthaceae again there is a presence of the bract, bracteole, but the flowers are actinomorphic. Here the calyx or the sepals are fused with the velvet estivation and here there is a presence of free condition of the sepals with one outer and one inner sepal. That is, here there is a presence of imbricate type of the condition. Then there is a presence of odd petal to the anterior side, and rest of the petals are somewhat unequal. And in addition to that, here there are the presence of the stamens which are dithecous and introrse, and they are epipetalous, that is, they are attached to the petals. Ovary is bilocular with the axile placentation. But in case of the family Amaranthaceae in Achyranthes aspera, here the petals are present in a velvet condition and presence of such type of the hairs to the outer side of the petals, and these petals are alternate to that of the stamens. The presence of the basal placentation and the ovary is unilocular. In the family Euphorbiaceae, it is very much advanced family with respect to the floral characters, and the characteristic feature of the family Euphorbiaceae is the presence of unisexual flowers. Here it is a floral diagram of the family Euphorbiaceae for Ricinus communis, which is the male flower, and here it is a female flower of the Ricinus communis, in which both the flowers are actinomorphic. Here also it is actinomorphic, means male and female both the flowers of the Ricinus communis are the actinomorphic. Presence of 5 tepals, that is perianth. Then they are fused with the velvet estivation in case of male, but here the tepals in the female flower and they are 3. This is the difference in between the male and female flower of the Ricinus communis. Then presence of stamens, which are 5 in number, but here these stamens are the anthers and they are branched. So this is a characteristic feature of the male reproductive organ of the Ricinus communis. In the female flower there is a absence of androecium, and in the male flower there is a absence of gynoecium, and hence here in the female flower there is a presence of 3 carpels, that is the ovary is tricarpellary syncarpus, and there is a axile placentation and 1 ovule in each locule, and it is tricarpellary or the trilocular. In case of the another genus, that is the Euphorbia, and the characteristic feature of the Euphorbia is the presence of inflorescence, and that is Scythium. And in the Scythium type of the inflorescence, there are the presence of the naked flowers, or we can say that the flowers which are present in the inflorescence, they are just without calyx and corolla, and hence the floral diagram is drawn for the whole inflorescence or the Scythium. So here there is a presence of the bract to the Scythium or the involucre. This is actually the involucre or the cup-like structure which is formed in the Scythium inflorescence, and this is the bract which is present at the base of this involucre. It is made up of 5 petal-like structure, but it is not the petal. and there is a development of such a type of the flowers or the stamens which are opposite to it, and there is a presence of single female reproductive organ or the female flower in the form of gynoecium. So, in the Cythium there are many male flowers and one female flower in the center. And again, the characteristic feature of the family Euphorbiaceae is the presence of 3 carpels with the axile placentation, and hence here in the gynoecium, here the type of the placentation is axile, and there are the presence of the 3 locules with the 1 ovule in each locule. In family Amaryllidaceae, here there are the presence of bract to the outer side. Here also the flowers are actinomorphic and the presence of perianth in the 2 whorl, and that is 3 outer and 3 inner. Then presence of the stamens, and the total number of the stamens are 6. These 6 stamens which are present in the crinum, they are attached to the petals, and that is epipetalous condition. Again, the ovary contain 3 locules and 2 ovules in each locule with the axile placentation. In family Liliaceae, again there is a presence of the bract. The flowers are actinomorphic, presence of perianth in the 2 whorl, that is 3 plus 3, 3 outer and 3 inner. Again presence of the stamens which are 6, 3 outer and 3 inner, and the ovary or the gynoecium is present in the form of tricarpellary ovary, that is 3 locules, trilocular, and 2 ovules per locule with the axile type of the placentation. In the same family Liliaceae, in Smilax, there are the presence of 2 different type of the flowers, that is male flowers and the female flowers, and hence here there are the 2 different floral diagrams, one is for the male flower and another for the female flower, and both the flowers are actinomorphic. Again, the perianth in both flower, they are in a 3 plus 3 condition with the velvet estivation. Here in the male flower, only the androecium or the stamens are present and gynoecium is absent, and in the female flower the androecium is absent and the gynoecium is present. Here the type of the stamens which are present, they are present in 2 whorls of 3 each, and in a female flower there is a presence of trilocular condition with the development of 2 ovules in each locule with the axile type of the placentation. So, this is the difference in between the male and the female flower in case of the Smilax, and only the difference of the presence and absence of the male and the female reproductive organ in male and the female flower. In the family Ericaceae, then Araceae and Poaceae, here absence of the bract Then flowers are actinomorphic, presence of perianth in the two whorl, that is outer 3 and inner 3. Outer 3 are in a velvet condition and inner 3 are present in a twisted condition. Presence of stamens again in two whorls of 3 each, and here in the male flower the gynoecium is found to be absent. But if we see the female flower, then again the condition is the same, that is actinomorphic. Then perianth are same to that of the male flower, that is outer whorl as well as the inner whorl. Androecium are absent and the gynoecium is present in the form of tricarpellary condition, that is trilocular, with the one ovule in each locule and presence of axile placentation or basal placentation. In the family Poaceae, here somewhat different, because here the flowers are minute and they are considered as a spikelets or the unit of the spikes. And in this flower, here the outer glum, that is known as the lemma, and the inner glum, that is known as the pallia, which are responsible to cover the different floral parts from outer side. The flower is zygomorphic. Here there is a presence of two fleshy bodies at the base of the ovary, and that is known as lodicule. It is nothing but the reduced form of the perianth. Presence of 3 stamens in the flower and presence of 2 carpels and with the basal placentation. So such type of the condition of the different flowers is found in the different plants or the different families. And in examination, always there is a question on floral diagram for a particular family in the UG also and in the PG also. So if we remember the arrangement of the sepal, petal, stamen and the gynoecium with respective other related characters which are useful to draw the floral diagram, then easily you can draw the floral diagram of any plant. If you want to remember all such type of the floral diagram, then it is important that you have to use the flower practically, so that the characters will be known to you and it becomes easy to draw the floral diagram. So thank you very much for your patiently listening of this complete lecture on floral diagrams. If you think this lecture is useful to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on the Life Science titles. Thank you.